Soldier's wife is held at gunpoint, puts training into action in heroic rescue. War is not for the faint of heart, and to make sure they can stay calm in any situation, soldiers go through months of training that pushes them to their physical and emotional limits. So when a soldier saw that his wife's life was at risk on what should have been a quiet night at home, he knew exactly what to do to save her and didn't think twice about doing it. A quiet night in. On Tuesday, January 30th, 2018, 45-year-old Rebecca Kama and her husband, 36-year-old Dario Miranda, were having a relaxing night in their home in the 7500 block of Netherland Drive in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Active duty. The couple cherished those quiet nights, and together, since Dario, an active duty Fort Bragg soldier, would often spend months away from home on the other side of the world during his deployments. For the couple, quality time together was all they could ask for. An unsuspecting victim. The night had started out like any other night at home. They ate dinner together and spent the rest of the evening relaxing. However, at around 10 p.m., the night took a terrifying and completely unexpected turn, which had Rebecca's life flashing before her eyes. An evening smoke. At around 10 in the evening, Rebecca stepped outside of their home to smoke a cigarette, which she often did to keep the cigarette smoke from getting into the home and making the room smell. However, that was just about the last normal thing to happen that night. The stranger. While standing right outside her house, Rebecca explained that a middle-aged man approached her and claimed to be looking for a girl. Rebecca didn't think anything was strange about the question, but became uneasy when he got closer to her. A seemingly innocent question. The guy, he comes to me, he says, "I'm looking for a girl named Jasmine," Rebecca said about the stranger. And then he stopped right in front of me and said, "Do you have an extra cigarette?" Without hesitating, Rebecca grabbed a cigarette from her pocket. The weapon. "And I handed him an extra cigarette, and then he pulled out a gun on me," said Rebecca. While pressing the gun against Rebecca's head, her life flashed before her eyes, and she could barely think when he said he was going to take all her money. The demands. With the black handgun pressed to her head, the man demanded that she bring him into the house and give him all her money. If she didn't comply with his demands, he threatened to shoot her and end her life. With no other choice, Rebecca slowly opened the front door. Out of options. The man pushed the woman inside and kept the gun pointed at her head the entire time. The man knew Rebecca had no way of defending herself and would have no choice but to hand over all her valuables if she wanted to walk away with her life. Sneak attack. What the robber didn't realize, however, was that Rebecca hadn't been home alone when he decided to threaten her life and rob her. Upstairs, Rebecca's soldier husband was quietly grabbing his own weapon so he could sneak up on his wife's attacker. The noise of a struggle. According to Rebecca's husband Dario, he'd been upstairs in their bedroom when Rebecca had gone outside to smoke before they started to get ready for bed. However, a few minutes later, he heard what sounded like a struggle outside. Following his instinct, Dario peered out the window of their bedroom and saw a middle-aged stranger talking to his wife. He watched as the man pulled out the black handgun and pressed it against Rebecca's head. Thanks to his training, Dario didn't panic. Instead, he instinctively grabbed his own weapon. Responding like a soldier. The husband picked up his own weapon, discovered the suspect was attempting to force his wife into the residence, and observed the suspect holding what appeared to be a black handgun. The Fayetteville Police Department Homicide Unit reported. Cries for help. Her husband happened to be upstairs when he heard the commotion downstairs because she was saying, "Please don't shoot me," said Donna Quills, the property manager of the apartment building where the couple lived. Taking aim. As the man forced Rebecca into their home, Dario quietly descended the stairs and aimed his gun at his wife's attacker. When the robber realized that they weren't alone in the house, he pointed his weapon straight at Dario. The shooting. As soon as the attacker pointed his gun at Dario, the soldier fired his weapon and shot the man before he could shoot him. Rebecca immediately grabbed the phone and called 911 to report what had happened just seconds before. The 911 call. "He pulled out a gun on me and my husband shot him," Rebecca told the 911 dispatcher as she was going into shock. Police arrived at the home shortly after and found the robber as the couple had said. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Identifying the attacker. After taking statements from both Dario and Rebecca about what happened earlier that night, they managed to identify the man as 51-year-old Jerome A. Allen, who lived in a house just under 7.5 miles away. Examining the weapon. During the course of the investigation, FPD detectives determined the weapon in possession of the suspect was a pellet gun, which shoots metal pellets and had the appearance of a real handgun. The Fayetteville Police Department's homicide unit reported. A fool's errand. Police opened an investigation, but Dario was never charged as the shooting was self-defense. Military people around here, they're gonna have guns, said property manager Donna Quills. You can't just go knock on a door and expect not to be met with a gun when you know that the military lives there. And I support anybody who carries a gun to protect themselves.